motherfuckers getting their ass kicked. We was doing it, but they want to tell the story they way. They put their slant on the story because we ain't telling it. We haven't been telling the story. The enemy been telling the story the whole time. I have to say, as long as the lion write the story, long as the lion don't tell his story, right? The hunter is always the one glorified.
That's right. That's exactly correct. Right. Go ahead. We on the roll. Go ahead. Don't stop.
So the vampires that they show you in the movie, those type, they are real beings that was a mix. Because I'm gonna show that in the Bible talk about it in the Holy Tablets. We talk about the Dogons, who were ancient Egyptians mixed in with these Nomos beings, and a certain group of reptilians that had the Willow's Peak. They were Tatnushnim. These viruses and bacteria, right? But really viruses, they need a host. Viruses need a host, right? And you gotta invite them in. Just like when they show you on the vampire movies, you gotta invite these vampires in order for them to get into your house. They can't come in unless you accept it. It's the same thing about certain foods you eat. You can accept certain viruses into your body and allow these viruses. And they said that life is in the blood. The blood is dealing with the cells. The cells is living organisms. And so they really after the cells. The cells are little galaxies or universes within themselves on a microcosmic level. So these viruses, they looking for to get into them cells. They need those cells as a host. And garlic, vampires are allergic to garlic. And this garlic, if you know why we ancient Egyptians created garlic, is to fight certain bacteria. And people don't like garlic, but garlic can kill it like anything you get. Really, garlic can knock it right out. I'm telling you.
Garlic is a well-known antibiotic or an antiviral agent in the homeopathic community.
That's right. Go ahead.
Vampirism is subsisting off the energy or substance of something that you have to kill in order to survive, right? Normally it's a species so closely related that you can't distinguish the vampire from the actual species. But when we're talking about the blood, we're talking about information. Our history is in our blood. They can't trick certain ones of us because we read our blood and we have to go find the references to match what the blood tells us. We ain't never researching what the world talking about. We researching what the inner clock is telling us, right? So what we doing is feeding energy. We moving energy in real time.
That's right.
Right? So tomorrow not here yet because we haven't created it, but we in the process of doing that today. So we using our scraps from yesterday, today, so that we can put that with what we find out today to build tomorrow. Okay, now let's deal with the music for a second. The drum, it doesn't hit the nervous system first. It hits the chakra of the heart, then disperses through the nervous system. Unless you're using what we call root chakra beats. That's the war drum. That's to stir up the warrior. Mm-hmm. So when you hear in hip hop, they using that 808, hitting that root chakra that hard, that's trying to wake up the warrior. Right? The music gonna always bend and form to the culture. Mm-hmm. You need to control the arts and the entertainment the same as you do the economics. It's basic military strategy 101. The more aspects of the enemy's life you control, the more of the enemy you control. Therefore, he's no longer your enemy. He's your subject now.
I had a question for the brother Young Elder. What would be your best advice to people that's listening and that will listen to this live, as far as what we should be doing right now as a people to get this fucking ball rolling a little bit quicker?
I got you. Hey, it's easy, man. My mission was that it was supposed that the war right now is taking place on the mental plane. We already got the land. We talk about the land, but we already got the land. We own the land, like Rod said. He own the land, looking out right now at the land. You know what I'm saying? So we got the land. So this is a mental war now.
we got to get the people knowing who the hell they are. They still saying they everything else but what we are. Now we are some of what they saying too, because we part of everything. You know what I'm saying? We come back to it. But to me, it's a mental war. People will say, let's set up a community. They do all this. We don't gotta do none of that. They tried to do all this. Bob and them did that, and them niggas came and bulldozed that shit over. So thing is, the war is in the mental right now.
I love my
We got to get the minds of our people back on, like what Rod's talking about and all that. We got to get the minds of the people. That's all hey, we ain't worried about. They say, hey, why you ain't do this or why you ain't do that? It's because all the stuff you talking about is physical. I'm not fighting a physical war. I'm fighting a mental war now against the people, against these beings, right? That's how they being exposed now. See, physically, the reason why they never was exposed physically is because they move it into, like Mark Payne said, these being chess players. They move it in the fourth dimension, the mental plane. So we never did hear no names or nothing really who these people are until now, until Rod Hayes pop up. Nobody knew Robert L. was on that shit until like maybe a couple niggas, but they probably was Dirty Moors hiding the shit. But the war is on the mental plane now. We fighting to try to get the niggas' minds saying, hey man, I know who I am, you know what I'm saying? It's on the same method as Elijah Muhammad and everybody else was doing, trying to get them to know the knowledge of self. So knowledge, I think what we should be doing now is getting more intelligent, studying what the brother Rod Hayes said. Go research it. Go get all the books. He done read the brother that reference like, I think probably like about over 100 books to me so far, I think. Like I got them all, like a lot of them in the file.
Easy, Dad. Look, we done reviewed a good 30, 40 books on your channel.
At least.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he absolutely correct in what he's saying, because we have to get the critical mass of awareness in order to flip the clock. But it's one thing you can't do is you can't jump the gun. Everything is set to a divine galactic clock. We feel like we're not doing that. We feel like this shit moving motherfucking slow as hell. That's because we looking at it from our human mind. When you realize that a day in God's eyes is 1,000 years in ours, he moving at light speed, or she moving at light speed, I should say. Big Mama not bullshitting, but it looked like Big Mama bullshitting on Earth, because it takes a certain amount of time for something so big to have a turnaround effect in reality. We already at what we call event horizon. We ain't no turning back from here. It's like a game of chess, and we playing the last 8 moves out, and you know you can't escape the checkmate. They already been checkmated, and they know it, so they just want to make it take as long as they can.